Welcome back to another episode of Kayfabe and Cardboard. Today we are going to be discussing about Fanatics Fest, which is happening next weekend at the time of this recording, which is Thursday, June 9th, 2026. I'm Aiden. Here's my dad, Adam, as always, discussing um, Fanatics Fest, some how WWE's impacted and grown overall in Fanatics Fest, how wrestling cards can play an impact, and then overall, what will Fanatics Fest do towards the wrestling hobby? So, Adam, how has this month been going in wrestling, you think?
It's been going well. There's always the ups and downs, and but I'm interested to hear. You're more dialed in. I'm dialed in on the cards. You're dialed in on the actual product. I'd love to hear your feedback on the last couple weeks or month. Why don't you start off at Raw? Some highlights. What do you think some of the bigger storylines were that were important?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a couple of big shocks, title changes, especially within that WWE Championship picture. Obviously, you had at Night of Champions, Sami Zayn pulling off the Miracle title win only for 9 days later. CM Punk to make his grand return and take it all away. I thought Sami Zayn cut a really good promo after the match, showing his raw emotion, showing how he felt, and hopefully, eventually turning full on heel into the last real bad guy. That'd be a good character for him. Standout match that I think that Punk Zayn match was good. I'll say that for Raw the past couple weeks. I think next week that gauntlet match for the IC Championship could be a good one. Biggest surprise that I think has happened overall. I'm just gonna give it I'll give it to that Punk return with the Gunther attack. I know I'm focusing a lot on that Punk Sami Zayn story, but that's probably been the biggest story going on Monday Night Raw, even though it's specifically a SmackDown story, which is crazy to say. But Cody getting attacked by Gunther at the start of the show, and then Punk making his grand return and winning the championship straight away. Um, I also think the road to SummerSlam is going to be really fun. I think a couple of the main events they've created already with the Hell in a Cell match between Lesnar and Femi, and also the World Heavyweight Championship match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That'll be really, really fun to watch and see.
What do
Um,
you? I know you're a big Femi Oba. We're both are, but like, how do you think that's going to work? And I'll tie it back a little bit to cards. How do you think the Oba having such a pump after initial Brock and then kind of ups and downs a little bit, still obviously trending upside? Do you think that's he's going to walk away with a win and a big card pump, or do you think his prices are already um, baked into what's going to happen? Either way.
I think a tiny bit of both. I think Brock really likes Oba. It's one of the situations that I think he'll be willing to put over Oba. You can tell they have good chemistry in the ring. I think it'll be a very brutal match. A big spot probably will end it. Um, and I'm just super excited to see what will happen. Tying it back into cards, I think definitely if and most likely when Oba wins, um, there will be a solid spike in his card prices, and I think you'll be surprised on how his cards can go even more than they already have been. Like I know we were talking earlier, back when he was in NXT and champion and nobody would beat him. I was telling you to get his flawless rookie cards, and you said no, and he said no again, and then they 30x by the time you said no. So
And I agree. There's wins and there's losses, and that was definitely an L for me. But we had to put the money somewhere. We went to Rock, we went to Cena, and bought some Grail. So there's wins over there too. But that being said, I just was a little concerned with coming from my soccer, with the World Cup going on in the soccer market and the pros and cons of speculating on new talent, prospects you could call it, and it's a little different in wrestling versus the legends or the goats, and I always go back to the Messis, Ronaldo's, Pele, Maradona is similar to the Cena, Hogan, Rock, whatever you want to put in there, Undertaker kind of thing, Austin. Um, I just felt like there's only a limited number of dollars, and you got to put them somewhere, and there's huge opportunities everywhere. And if use Tiffany again, she's coming back a little bit, but like at that one point she was so hot, and then we were putting a lot of money into it, got out of it, but those cards dropped in half, and the Cena stuff is still just gone straight upwards. So real quick about we talk about WWE a lot. I love to because we've really been getting into AEW TNA, and we went to that one TNA event which was really really fun. But any other feedback on any of the other companies?
Yeah, going on AEW, just last night they put on Beach Break, really good show, a couple title changes. That MJF unfortunately lost. He's probably both of our favorites from the other company. Hopefully he'll eventually jump over. But I mean, they've been doing really good stuff. Forbidden Door was an excellent pay-per-view. They've just been hitting it out of the park. And I'm excited to see whether they can pull it all together for a good all-in show. TNA, they're starting to fall apart without any WWE involvement. I know Nick Nemeth won TNA World Championship. That's good for him, but I mean, they're probably going to be losing Leon Slater, probably going to be losing Mike Santana. It's just they need to figure out how to grow talent that's not ex WWE. And
Have
then
you
go ahead.
cutting you off a little bit, but have you watched? I know it just came out a couple days ago. I saw it last night. Um, the Jeff Jarrett TNA show that came on.
I've not yet. No,
I think part one came out. It was real interesting, just talking about the origination of TNA and that whole thing. But all right, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
you're good. And then finally, just talking back about NXT, I think that's probably been the second best WWE show, better than SmackDown, which has been just borderline unwatchable when the World Cup's on. I mean, I think NXT has been really, really good in stepping up their game. I mean, Mason Rook, Naruko, all these new names. Kendall Gray won her championship. Her cards took an absolute skyrocket when she only has a couple rookie autos. Those could eventually be a big prospector, kind of like an Open Braun Breaker type of situation we could see there.
So I guess transitioning a little bit for sake of time, I would love to get into because we're going there next week, the Fanatics Fest, and we had a really good time with it last year. I know a lot of people watching this don't even know what that even means, or kind of from a very high level maybe heard about it. Kind of, why don't you spend a couple minutes just sharing what is Fanatics Fest and how was your experience last year and what are you excited about this year?
I mean, yeah, Fanatics Fest is Michael Rubin's biggest project of the year. It's all the sports, all the entertainment. It's just a big, big convention. I mean, last year we went and I got blown out of the way. I thought WWE World was big when we went to WrestleMania, but this just blows it out in comparison. I mean, you'll be walking one way and Tom Brady will pop up. You walk another way, Rhea Ripley will be shooting a basketball. It's just really, really cool to see all the athletes and celebrities, the WWE superstars, everybody that's there. It's really cool. And speaking of a trading card hobby, I mean, they have thousands and thousands of tables just there with high-end dealers, some of the best in the hobby. So definitely worth it as a card show, let alone a convention. That's super cool. They have live podcasts. LeBron does podcasts. Kevin Hart does the Cold as Balls podcast. Those were really cool. Just last year, I remember Wemby getting into they had to get a tub 2 times the size of Kevin Hart's
For the legs.
uh, tub. They do live signings. They do different panels. John Cena's doing a Q&A this year, and then a bunch of the cool experiences for all different sports that Fanatics has a license to, and they have the license to almost everything. So it's super, super cool. And now, going into this year's, I'm going to ask you, why is Fanatics invested so heavily into the WWE going into this year's Fanatics Fest?
I think a couple things. I think I don't work for them, so I don't know the answers. But just from I kind of run a financial services company in my day job, and we analyze all kinds of different investments and for our advisors and for the hedge funds and equity, companies that we're looking at investing in. And I think it's something where if I look at it from a business model, it's accessible. Like I keep bringing back soccer, but like it's when there's leagues all across the world, and it's very hard to get somebody to sign something in person, and that's why like I give the example of the on card autos that um, Erling Haaland or Messi before he came to the United States or Ronaldo or whatever it was. There's a lot less few, and even the legends who passed away, Maradona, Pele, you just don't get them all together like NFL or NBA, the All Star game. You get everybody in one room and you can just get everything signed. That's why the World Cup's one way, but it's still across multiple cities, across multiple countries. WWE, you can literally go to SmackDown, Raw, or whatever, and get talent there to sign stuff, to do stuff, and then I think in an example like this, yes, they've been traveling across the country and across the world, which is I don't say relatively new, but somewhat newer consistently. They have they are the product at some level. So like putting Rhea Ripley or putting John Cena that in front of everybody. Number one, I think it's brilliant. Obviously, TKO. You've got ESPN. It's candidly ESPN isn't what it used to be in regards to every single person watching SportsCenter every minute of every day. We consume data differently, consume news differently, but I think it's a multi-pronged, multi-leg stool that is like, okay, you have access, between Netflix and then even on just regular TV, you can watch SmackDown, you can watch Raw, you can watch the PLE, like anything like that, you have access to it. So, and it costs something, but like for the most part, you can find it easy. If you want to find it, you can get it and you can watch it and you know about it. Number two is it's now on ESPN. All the big ones, WrestleMania, doesn't matter, SummerSlam, anything. They're Seth Rollins is on everything now. All these. They're talking about. I know when Cat was the Randy Orton with RBI and stuff like that with Ryan. Like that was on news on every Fox, ESPN, whatever was talking about sports cards, was talking about wrestling because the IP Fanatics is pushing. And I think the last thing is you now can get all of these people. You saw it in Fanatics World last year with WWE. You saw everything else. You literally can see that fans come out to it. So I think that's really really important, and I think that's why they're pushing it because and you can see with they keep it pretty affordable, relatively speaking, for autographs compared to the New York Knicks, whoever else are coming to sign autographs. And if you look on their website, which are all the first people that are that literally sell out, are all the WWE talent. And I think there's something to be said for that. I think they're doing a really nice job with that.
100%, 100% agree with you there. Um,
And I think one last thing,
from
Aiden, I'd say
oh, go ahead.
is they've had what 6 or 8 different products come out this year that they need to push and they need to sell, and so specifically royalty and some of the other ones. And I feel like they want those cards on the floor for people to sign, to people to see, to people go meet. Rhea Ripley want to go find her cards, and if there's no product and there's no cards out on the at the dealers' tables, I think it's a perfect. It was very systematic that they put a lot of content and a lot of because last year wasn't as much, but now that they have the IP, they got all of those different brands out there pretty quickly and products, and now I think there's going to be a lot more accessibility for cards for people when they see, and I think that's a big thing where the growth of WWE card market is. We see everybody spending $600, $800 on a belt like it's nothing, but they might not go buy a $600, $800 card. And now when they see the cards and they can see really a piece of and the WrestleMania patches are a good entryway and stuff like that, but they see there's value in it, their fans are gonna start going to cards as much as they are going into merch.
Mhm. I mean, last year we probably the people that spent the most money were probably WWE fans, just because they're the ones who are most involved. They're the ones who go to events to make the most noise. It's just like a different atmosphere, a different level of fan involvement. I think Fanatics is definitely starting to realize how much they can capitalize off of WWE fans.
So who are some of the big ones that are gonna be there for everybody?
Um, Cody Rhodes going to be there. Roman Reigns is set to do a podcast with the New York Knicks. Probably to see a Danhausen appearance there. We will be there. I think I got a photo op with him to tell him to uncurse Cleveland sports. Uh, We got CM Punk who's going to be there, Rhea Ripley who's going to be there, John Cena is going to be there, and then some other legends. I saw Mark Henry's doing free photo ops and the new guys, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Penta. It's basically everybody in the IP is going to be there. And you didn't mention this, but also that Saturday of Fanatics Fest, are doing Saturday night's main event. I could very well see if Roman Reigns is going to be there, why not have him defend the title in Madison Square Garden? And people who don't watch WWE, this is a very good way for them to be like, oh, there's a cool show at Madison Square Garden, and everybody's going to be there. Like probably some of the bigger celebrities, like you could see a Travis Scott, you could see a Michael Rubin, pump all the celebrities, pump all the athletes to go be in the crowd and kind of like a celebrity row there. Why not have some big matches there? I know Danhausen's already wrestling there because he's like the face of New York for WWE. So I could see Madison Square Garden and that Saturday night's main event show being a really big pumping factor for them there.
It would make total sense. Can you did this at WWE World, and I think they have it at Fanatics Fest, that the walkout. Like, can you talk about that for a second? Because I think a big thing about Fanatics Fest is not only just going and seeing, but doing and being the activations. Explain what the walkout is.
Yeah, so not only is there the walkout for WWE, there's also kick the soccer ball into the goal, shoot, do the 3-point contest, put the hockey ball or hockey
Puck.
puck, hockey puck into the laundry thing, and just for every sport, there's a golf simulator. There's basically just for every single sport they have something. It's tied into Fanatics games, which is super cool. You get 50 of the biggest athletes versus 50 fans, and you can see cool things like I think Rhea Ripley and Gronk are going to go at it. Like that'll create funny interactions. That will create social media buzz. That's super cool. Now going back to what you said about the walkout, it's super cool. You can wait in like a 10, 15-minute line, and you can make you'll tell the person there what wrestler you want to do. Their Titantron will hit, their music will hit, and you can walk out, and fans will be like waiting on the side. You give them high fives, you can interact. It's super cool. I think last year, since I was walking out with my Money in the Bank briefcase, I had Seth Rollins' theme song. It was super cool. Everybody's into it, singing the song. It was really, really cool.
And they give you like a video clip because it's professionally done, and then like a little QR code, and you can actually download your own video with your music and a full blown as if you're walking to the ring. It was they do a really nice job. They don't spare any expense for the activations.
100%. Yeah. How about we start talking about WWE cards at Fanatics Fest? Because I know we've previously been to a couple of bigger shows like the National and when it was in Cleveland and a couple of other shows, and we really didn't see any big WWE cards there. But now, when we went to Fanatics Fest for the first time, there was dealers almost, I'd say 50% of them had at least one WWE card in their case. How much do you think that number is going to grow for this year?
I think what I love about Fanatics Fest, and it's not a knock on the National at all, but like the National is traditionally baseball, football, basketball, and when I say baseball, it's nothing wrong with it, but vintage. People have had been at the National since the '80s and the '90s, and it just for soccer, for wrestling, for NASCAR, for F1, for tennis, for all the fringe sports that are just becoming more popular. Fanatics Fest is the place to be for that. I mean, not saying that National isn't. I actually obviously created you know, a SoCo Expo for soccer cards because we couldn't even get seats at the National. And that's starting to change, but and SoCo's done a really nice job with what they've done with that and creating their own major events as well. But they had to do that because there wasn't a place for all this new age collecting at the National. And I think Ruben realized that and said, wait a second, it's stale, it's old, it's cards, which is awesome, but it's not interactive. It's not getting new, fresh young people into it. It's 60, 70, 80 year olds just going over dollar bins and trying to complete sets, which is awesome for that. It's just not if you're trying to grow whatever. So I think right now, high end is pretty, and that's where I like to play a little bit, but like high end WWE, I know Jameson, I know some of these other ones have really nice wrestling cases, not just like cards, but cases or tables of stuff you've just never seen before. And obviously we sell a lot of them to, and they're buying a lot of content. Even friends, Coach K's cards, who's in Cleveland, he bought up a bunch of our case hits and some star swatches and stuff just because he wanted to be a part of bringing people to his table with WWE, even though he's got other things. But he felt like, hey, I don't want to miss out and not have some WWE for at Fanatics Fest because I saw last year I needed more WWE because tons and tons of people are asking about WWE just because it's the type of clients and collectors that are going to be there, obviously because of the celebrities that they're coming to see. So I think it's gonna be a lot more, and then I think obviously it'll be very interesting on royalty and on some of these patches. I think what are there 8 or 10 patches left? WWE WrestleMania patches haven't been pulled yet. I don't think Rhea's been pulled, and obviously Cena hasn't. If for some reason one of those major ones get pulled there and something happens, it just the buzz will be insane, and I think that's something where um, there's a lot of WWE buzz card wise for just dealers and not just WWE dealers, but like backyard breaks or whoever it might be that are having tables are asking for and want to buy wrestling cards and wrestling tops and panini. There's just not as much supply as the demand.
Yeah, definitely agree. Um, let's go into a quick bit of buy or sell. So do you think after this year's Fanatics Fest, and I know national, there's definitely gonna be more involvement in WWE cards with the whole thing that Gelman and Ryan from RBI is doing. I think that will be a really good event for them.
It's
Do you
awesome.
think that WWE cards will become a top five sports card category by the end of next year's Fanatics Fest?
So what would you? So you got baseball, you've got football, you've got basketball, probably hockey, probably soccer right now. I would think. Am I missing something that is? Um, I don't think it'll crack the top five yet, but I will tell you again. This has been my thesis from day one: is the amount of private sales of high end private sales, and this happened in soccer a couple years ago. There was not many, if any. There was maybe $1 million sale 2 3 years ago of soccer cards, and there's a lot of couple $100,000 sales, but there was only the same PSA 10 Messi. There's only 19 of them, that kind of thing. Even the flawless cards that are selling for $1 million now were 20, 30, $50,000 cards, and most of those high end cards were happening in Asia and the sales privately, and they were never put on Card Ladder, never put on anything else. I see. I mean, I'm just gonna be very honest. I see the same thing with wrestling. There's multi six figure plus sales that nobody knows about, or people that know about them obviously aren't sharing them because they want to continue to buy because it's a buyer's market, not a seller's. And now that I use Cat, now that I use Logan Paul or all this other, I mean, look at Logan Paul. That Holland card was a $500,000 sale or $600,000 sale a couple days ago. That card was offered to me for $30,000 $40,000 when it was first pulled, when nobody was collecting soccer cards and nobody knew who Holland was. And then it sat around 100, 200,000, and then somebody bought it for whatever, and now it's a $500,000 card a couple years later. I just think he's only got one or two true rookie cards, and that's no different than Cena or Rock or whoever it might be. So I think I think it'd be a fringe top five collectible, but I think it's not gonna crack the top five. So I'd sell that as a direct five.
Okay. Going on to talk about some Topps Royalty WrestleMania packs, do you think one gets pulled by either Cat, a celebrity over this weekend, and they end up making buzz about it? Because I know Cat's trying to stock up on as much royalty as he can get his hands on it, try and get that Cena WrestleMania patch. Do you think one gets pulled during the Next Fest?
Yeah, I haven't seen hey, we're gonna go grab 50 cases and rip them all on camera. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I would think something like that would happen, or I think that somebody, it's just a numbers game. And the more that gets pulled, the less that's available. Something's going to get pulled. The question is, I don't think has the Punk one been pulled. I think so. Punk, Rhea, and Cena are probably the three biggest ones left. If one of those three gets, it's going to be all hell's going to break loose on social media in a good way. I mean, again, I'm haven't thrown my head into the Cena bounty things. I don't do bounties, but like I'm definitely eyeing, depending what that sells for, and we know that's probably already up to 100, 125 plus or whatever. It's going to go for way more than that. At least I'm probably going to look at it, but like it's something where I know people behind the scenes are like, hey, the right card for the right reason are going to sell. And if it's in a celebrity's hand, if it's in Logan Paul's hand, if it's in, Cat's hand, and Cat's not the only one that's buying it. I mean, I know he was on with like one of the late night shows. I forgot what it was, but like they were talking about their own collection, another collection, and like now that I could see Halberton or Logan Paul or anybody else that like just is involved in wrestling, celebrity crossover. Lamine Yamal, he was walking around with his belts and stuff like that. Like I think some of these guys are going to get into it and be like, this becomes the next cool thing, and the market explodes. And Dynasty or whatever else in some of these, 101 black prisms sell. Like if the Rock 101 black prism or Cena or something go to an open market, you're talking two, three, $500,000, and people just don't understand that. And a couple years ago, nobody could understand that for a Messi card. It sat between 200 and 300,000 forever. All of a sudden, a couple big people got into it, and then it took two, three, four, five at the high level, and it became $1 million card overnight. And then a little NBA sticker on it, or gold, or whatever else happens to kind of differentiate your card from somebody else's. And now it 5x at that level, and that meant all of the PSA 9s, PSA 8s, and like all the, and to me, the same idea of, hey, if you're talking about the black 101 cells, what about the gold out of 10? Nobody really has come over and understood how important Prism Gold, True Gold, numbered out of 10 PSA 10s are for the elite people. And there's only 3 years of it, or 2 years, depending on, or 1 year, depending on which they have. That's what people are going to be looking for. Superfractors, 101s, obviously the WrestleMania patches. When people are coming from, I just use soccer or F1 or basketball or whatever, they want what nobody else has and what they're used to trying to get, and their money goes way, way farther in WWE or what it used to be in soccer, and that's what drives the market. So I think for sure it's going to, if it happens, it could set everything on fire.
Lastly, I'm going to give you a list of a couple different wrestlers, and you're going to tell me the three biggest wrestlers who, at the end of the Fanatics Fest weekend, will have the biggest impact, whether in the wrestling, in the actual business, the shows, what the whatever, or the card market, and give me a couple reasons why. So we have Roman, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Rhea, Oba, Javon, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Randy Orton, and CM Punk. Give me three.
I've got four, so I don't listen to rules very well.
Okay.
I think Roman Reigns, he's just, everybody loves him, and he's still active in wrestling. And like you said, he's going on podcasts, he's cross-selling, he's going to be doing that. Cena's just, he was on another late night show last night with doing like some kind of comedy thing, whatever, and he had the Netflix show come out and stuff. I think Cena's, his crossover, kind of how The Rock was a couple years ago, and I think The Rock will come back. But right now, I think Roman, Cena, Cody's Cody. Everybody loves Cody, and he's there, and he just is who he is. I think the sleeper is going to be Rhea Ripley. I think she's going to be there. She's starting to do more on social media. She's starting to do more on cards. She's starting to kind of peel back the curtain. I don't know if that's the best way of saying it, and just be a little bit more accessible, and just her personality coming out. And I think, and her fan base is absolutely diehard, and I think that's something that the more she's accessible and the more she's enjoying the ride, I don't know if that's the best way of putting it, she's going to be, I think she's got room to really grow in her card market. Obviously, there's some super collectors that have all most of the good stuff, but like, I think that's kind of, I think she's a 6-figure plus WrestleMania patch, and if that thing gets pulled during Fanatics Fest, it could go to a couple $100,000 if like a Logan Paul, or so I'm just using him, but somebody decides that's what they want, because there's only a handful of those. The only other one probably, and you didn't do it, but like I still think Seth Rollins has tons of, he's just so accessible everywhere else. He's on NFL Sunday morning, whatever, he's on everything on ESPN. I just think he's got room to grow. Maybe not the ceiling is high, but I think he would be another one that could probably get a pump from crossover.
Any of the young guys that I mentioned, Oba, Javon, Julia, Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, I think Javon. Everybody loves Javon. If he really gets pushed the right way, and it doesn't mean just for winning championships, but he gets pushed because his personality, his age, social media, everything goes in the right way because he's got that look and the bounce and everything with it. He could. I just feel like Oba's gotten pushed so hard in the last year of like card wise. He's still got room to move, but how much percentage wise higher? He's closer to ceiling than I think Javon is. And then the other ones, Stephanie, Julia, like they're awesome. I just don't think they're next tier down for push. Like true diehard wrestling people love them, and we love them and stuff. But like I don't know. Sometimes it's just the looks there, but maybe the mic skills that are still working on it. The not being front seated. If Stephanie's front seated at I don't know the Knicks game, would people know or really she's not getting pushed that way, if that makes sense, for the crossover um, pop culture. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. That's the only reason I'm holding it down. But in the niche of wrestling, they're top. But I'm looking more pop culture crossover.
That makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, obviously, we're going to Fanatics Fest for the full weekend, Thursday to Sunday. Excited for the World Cup. Excited to do, hopefully, Saturday night's main event. We're going to showcase some cards that we will be bringing, and then I will be showcasing some of the cards, and then he'll be showcasing Big Boy. So starting off here, we got John Cena from 25, Topps Chrome, Superfractor 101 PSA 9 of the Time Is Now insert. Awesome card there. Sticking with Cena 101s, let's go 2015 Topps Undisputed here. Sorry, lighting's not the greatest, but we got Cena 101 here. That's in a Beckett 9. I say we stick with the theme of Cena 101s here. We have 2022 Select WWE Black and Gold holding championship with a championship shirt. Awesome card design there. Another 101.
That one checks every box. And the Cena holding the belts, I think, are becoming a thing. Like we obviously have a ton of Cena 101s, but I think holding the belt or the belt in the picture, just those are sweet.
Sticking with John Cena, we have PSA 9 2023 True Gold first on print to 10. This is a big boy here. There's only 30 of these golds that will ever be made because Panini lost the license after.
I'm not going to one up you, but I'm going to one up you. Here's PSA 10s of both of them. I'm not selling them, but like we've got a 2023 and a 2022. Both of them are gold PSA 10s. So that's a little hint of what, as a newer WWE like collector coming in, who I think that's where I think people are going to go. And like you said, there's only 3 years of Cena's, and that's 30 cards total, and they're so hard to gem. That's my advice on these.
Cool. How about we go with some newer guys? How about Braun Breaker 2022 Select? That's going to be in a PSA 10, first on print 210, gold rookie from Select.
How undervalued do you think he is? I know he got hurt and stopped his hype train, but he's got to be a buy right now, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, once he gets out of the whole vision vortex, hopefully it doesn't match with Bronson Reed when he comes back. My guy, hopefully he'll just get back into that next tier. And I think he hopefully feuds with like Jacob Fatu and Oba Femi and just shows how good of a wrestler he is. I mean, that steel cage match with Rollins was incredible. Alrighty, moving on, we have 2022 Prism Auto Gold, numbered 2 of 10. Braun Breaker and a PSA 9. I mean, this is just an absolute nuke. Again, the rookie breakers, you can't be sleeping on those. But if you are sleeping on those, you shouldn't be sleeping on the ruler, Oba Femi, rookie, and a PSA 8, numbered 20 of 25.
Yeah, those are
Go.
awesome.
First year Prism rookie, only Prism rookie. Well, that makes sense. And now we have a couple of pair here to pair the two together. Oba Braun, numbered at a 99, both PSA 10s. will all be available here. And then the big nuke that we're bringing, if you want to go ahead and show it.
You want me to show?
Yeah.
Um, so we this is one I popped it up when it was raw, but we came back and I might have showed it. I think I did, but like this is to me an absolute one of my favorite cards ever. But I'm probably going to be selling it. It is the Shohei Ohtani John Cena 101. You can't see me from the World Baseball Classic, and we bought it overseas, brought it to the United States, then got it actually sent it to spent an arm and a leg to get it graded a PSA, and it came back a PSA 10, which is unbelievable for a Topps Now card that is really, really, really hard to gem on the foil fractor. So um, it literally is Otani's insane right now. I know I was trying to find comps because I got offered a lot of money in and said no because I just want to see what it graded. And now I really don't know what it's worth, but I could tell you we talked to a couple Golden as well as some people there, some people at Fanatics. I don't know what we're going to do with it besides maybe just move it privately while we're there. But there was a sale because everybody's like, well, it's Topps Now. And I'm like, a non autographed Topps Now Otani from last year's playoffs. And I think it was a BGS 9 went for 110,000 and Card Ladle has it at 175,000. And then that Messi Curry 101 foil fractor non-auto just sold for what 120 or something like that, 110, 120. And again, Cena and Otani are two. You can't get a hotter athlete and a hotter pop culture, type of thing going on right now in a 101, in a iconic You Can't See Me where everybody's doing that everywhere, and in a 10. So my gut is I'm probably going to give it to an auction house and just let it go and figure it out. But I'm going to have it with me at Fanatics Fest looking to try and move it. I was thinking about putting it up there as a bounty for a straight trade for the WrestleMania patch because I'm guessing it's probably in that $125,000-$150,000 range. But like, I don't know, it could be a lot more if you get two people that really, really want it in a 10 because those other ones were BGS 9s that sold for that level. So no idea what it's worth. I'm not looking to. I'm not actively having to move it, but I'm just we PC Cena, and I feel like for that kind of money, somebody who really enjoys Otani and both of them could. It's a celebrity card. I don't know what else to say, and we could buy a lot of really cool wrestling cards with a couple $100. So,
Alrighty, thank you guys for listening to this next episode of Kayfabe and Cardboard. It's been we've both been very busy. High school soccer. I got a job at a local card shop, Cards in the Land. Love them. Love the guys there. Doug, Jonah, Dave, Trevor, everybody there. Um, been super busy. We'll try and get more episodes, more vlogs out when we have the time. But thank you guys for listening. See you guys at Fanatics Fest. Look for me carrying a Money in the Bank briefcase around. And thank you guys
thanks
for
everyone.
listening. Have a good one.